everyone, my name is Sanvi and I'm a junior at Stevenson High School. I hope you guys are all doing well during this time, and this presentation is the fourth part of an online community initiative designed to introduce STEM and medicine to students who might not have the opportunity to explore these careers. And today we're going to talk a little bit about IT and technology management. So IT is basically using computers to store, receive, transmit, or manipulate data and information, and it's usually used in the context of business, but there are many other applications as well. And using computers for data can really range from many different things, from hardware to operating systems to servers to databases, apps, and even more different things that it can be used for. So there are many different careers in IT, and the first one that we have is mobile app developer. A mobile app developer would create and develop any apps that could be sold in the iOS store or in the Google Play Store, and they would be responsible for developing everything that you would see when you open an app. And next we have web developer, which is similar except it's just for websites instead of apps. So they would create all of the things that you would see when you open a website, all of the functions in that website as well. So, and then next we have video game designer, this person would create and design all the different elements of a video game, including like the different characters, like what do you do to play, like what happens when you lose, what happens when you win, different things like that. And then we have a graphic designer who could actually work in all the different fields of mobile app developing, web developing, and in video games, because they would be responsible for the graphics and what you as a user would see when you're using these apps and websites and games. Next we have software engineer, and a software engineer is a really broad term for a person that designs and develops operating systems, network control systems, and even computer games. So this is really like kind of an umbrella term for anything that involves like developing computer systems. The next career that we have is a robotics engineer, and this person would create robotics, and there are really many different applications for this. It could be used in manufacturing or even to do research for different science fields. So now we're going to talk a little bit about how you guys can explore IT. So the first thing that we have is to look for internship positions at local companies, and this is a great way to really immerse yourself in the field and get hands-on experience, and can really help you guys learn and understand whether this field is right for you. And next, many careers in IT do involve like a coding component. So learning to code is something that like all of you guys can do, and it's a very possible thing for you to learn and to do like at this stage. So there are many different online courses and resources, and I've listed a few here, like code.org, Code Academy, and even Khan Academy has some stuff on coding. And all of these are completely free, and they're great resources and can give you a good head start on learning how to code. So now we're going to talk a little bit about the latest advances in technology and maybe like kind of where this field is going in the future. So the first thing that we have is machine learning and artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence at like a very simple level is when a machine exhibits behaviors that are associated with human intelligence. And these can include things like planning, learning, problem solving, creativity, reasoning, anything like that, like anything that a human would do that we wouldn't expect computers to do. And machine learning specifically is when a machine is given large amounts of data and learns, quote unquote, to do a task according to that data. So the main application of this is, this can really be in many different fields and can really allow us to have more control over what our computers can accomplish, and can even make our own lives easier in the process. So the next thing we have is quantum computing. And so what quantum computing is really different than what normal computers do. So normal computers use things called bits, which are almost like tiny switches, and these switches can either be on or off, meaning that they can either be a 0 or a 1, with 0 being off and 1 being on. And these little switches and bits kind of control every aspect of everything that you see on a computer. So it's all just a bunch of little zeros and ones in like a binary code. However, this is like a very certain and absolute nature of doing things, and because it is just either a 0 or a 1, there really is no in between when it comes to that. So this doesn't really allow our computers that we normally use to compute or understand the uncertainty that we see in like real nature and real science. So quantum computers kind of solve this problem by using qubits, which are like similar switches, but they can either be on, off, or somewhere in between. And this like essentially allows for the uncertainty that we see in science, like sciences like biology and chemistry. And this can allow us to better model the things in these subjects which aren't certain or absolute. So the main applications to quantum computing can be in AI, or even finding cures for certain diseases and modeling different chemicals, or even just learning more about the environment around us without within a much more easier fashion than what we would normally have to do. So the next thing that we have is microbiome technology, which is a really exciting field. And a microbiome is basically all of the genetic material of all the microbes in the body, and this can include things like fungi, bacteria, and viruses. Now, this is different from your actual human genome, which is the DNA inside of you, but this is the DNA inside of every like bacteria, virus, and fungi that is on or inside of you. So it's a little bit different than your genome. And so recent technology has found ways to sequence all this DNA and RNA in the microbes, which can give us lots of insights on how different drugs and diseases affect the body. And this can give us a lot more information on how to better diagnose and treat these drugs and diseases. So as I'm sure you guys have sort of gathered from all of this, that technology is a very broad field that can have many, many applications in really any areas of our lives. And that's why I think it's such an exciting field to explore. So that's all we have for today. Thank you guys so much for listening, and I hope you guys all continue to stay safe. Bye.